You only need but a few short years in order to impact the world, and now you done created a legacy that will live on forever. What's up, everybody? First and foremost, I'm truly grateful that you're able to spend this time with me. Let's get right into it, though. Too many people procrastinating in their life. Too many people procrastinating in their life. I done said it twice. I understand what I did, okay? But it's the absolute truth. Too many people are lollygagging with their life. They playing too many games. Literally, okay? Too many. If you're not making no money off your video games, then you need to go ahead and pack it up and start getting busy and figuring out things that's going to accomplish your goals and accomplish your dreams and make impacts within your family and impacts within yourself. You understand? Too many people are getting distracted with the wrong things. Too many people focusing on Netflix and chilling. Ain't nothing to be chilling about, man. We only got a short period of time left on this earth. That's it. I don't care if you was just born. You got a short period of time on this earth. And the reason why I say that is because time is going by so fast. The years are becoming like days. The older you get, the faster time goes. We all know that. How many of us remember our summer months once we got out of school? 10, 9, 8 years old. Those 3 months felt like 3 years. Now 3 months feels like 3 hours. We already in July, y'all. For those that are listening to this record, we already in July. I'm recording in July. June was yesterday. Come on, man. Time going by too fast, y'all. It's going by too fast and too many people lollygagging, man. And the reason why they lollygagging is because they believe that they have all this time left. And then next thing you know, you're 40 years old. You look back and you realize you've accomplished nothing. You realize you played too many games. And I understand some of us, or should I say some people, are very well misguided. Some of y'all were raised in households where they didn't even know what they were doing. And so now you're bumping your head. It's almost like the blind leading the blind. You're out here in this world and you're bumping your head at every roadblock, and you don't know how to deal. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to ask questions. You don't know how to take constructive criticism. You don't know how to elevate because those core beliefs were not taught in your house. You didn't know how to sit still. You didn't know how to be quiet. You didn't know how to just listen and learn when you were in school because too many people were lollygagging within your house, and they done put that situation on you, and now you doing the same thing, and it's the cycle repeating itself each and every day, And I get it. We all have done it. We all have procrastinated. We all have analysis paralysis. We have these wonderful goals that we wanted to achieve. And then next thing you know, it becomes a standstill and we put it off into next week, next year. And then next thing you know, 10 years come down the line and you've done nothing. You've done nothing, man. I'm going to put this video on. It really resonated with me, because it's this girl. She's turning 40 years old. This year, there's so many people. Everybody born in 1985 will be turning 40 years old. Your boy will be turning 40 years old, Where have the time gone? And the only reason why I say that is because I remember when I was in my 20s, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, y'all. Even though my body aching like I'm in my 80s, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, man. I'm damn near about to be 40. 10 years from now, I'm approaching senior citizenship. Where has the time gone? Let's play the video, man.
Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. Have I even tried? Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything. And I don't know how to, I did this whole growing thing wrong. Like I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm supposed to be able to handle these things, and I can't handle anything. And I literally am just realizing, like, it's been 40 years of this, and like, it's 40 years of just being confused and not knowing and like figuring things out slower and like not like I haven't built anything. I have nothing like to show for this time. I just don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm lost, I'm afraid,
And a lot of people feel that way. You know, a lot of people feel that way because they didn't realize time has gone by so fast. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I listen to a lot of different people online, like Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V. I think he's dope with what he's doing in business. But one of the things that he does mention is you still have time. You know, don't beat yourself up. You still have time, and I understand what he's talking about. You know, a lot of people are beating themselves up because they have this sense of urgency now because they realize that they've accomplished nothing. You know, or they claim that they didn't accomplish nothing, but they didn't really write down throughout their life what they've been doing. You know, so when you do look back, there's nothing memorable because you have nothing to recollect from. You know, but he says you still have time. I sort of disagree with that. You know, I was raised in a family where we went to more funerals than we did family reunions. In fact, we still go to more funerals than family reunions. So with me, I don't have enough time. You know, I know I'm approaching 40, but I think as if I'm approaching that grave very quickly. We don't have a monopoly on time at all. We don't have that. You know, some may pass away tomorrow. Some may pass away next year. Some may pass away 10 years from now. We don't know when we are going to pass away. So when somebody's saying we have time, I disagree with that. We don't have time. If you have something that you want to accomplish, do it today. Do it now. Do it today. Do it now. If there's something that you want to learn, if there's something that you aspire to be, start putting those wheels in motion so you can go ahead and make it happen. Too many people are relaxing. And I get it. If that's what you want to do with your life and you just want to be a couch potato, watch TV and just do the mundane things, you know, that's cool. That's cool. It's all good. But that woman that I just saw on video was breaking down because she realized she didn't have anything to show for the 40 years that she was here on this earth. Benjamin Franklin once said, he said, do something that people can write about or write about something that's worth reading. I jacked up his entire quote, but it's something similar to that. You know, if you want to continue your legacy and you want to be out here, once you're gone, you want your works to live on, then write something that's going to be worth reading or do something that's going to be worth talking about years to come. You know, you want to be a Martin Luther King where, you know, he passed away back in the 60s and people still talking about his dream today. You want to be like John F. Kennedy, being one of the youngest presidents and people still talking about him. You want to be like Jesus Christ thousands of years ago and people still talking about him. You want to be like William Shakespeare, people still performing his plays till this day. He's been in the grave for over 600 years, 500 years. You know, so there's legacies that can continue to live on after you. You know, so one thing that I can say about her, matter of fact, I want to jump at, there's an article that I was reading, right? Martha Stewart became successful at 41 years old. Talk to me. Vera Wang, 40 years old. 40 years old, right? Who else? Colonel Sanders was in his 60s. The man that created KFC in his 60s. Ray Kroc, 53 years old when he got connected with the McDonald's brothers and ended up blowing McDonald's to the point where we got one on every corner. 53 years old, man. I believe he was in his 50s. But nonetheless, yes, I understand. That woman that is really distraught because she felt as though she didn't build nothing in the 40 years of her life. Okay, that's fine. Well, now that you understand that, now it's time to look at your next 40 years, okay, as if you have 40 years left on this earth or 50 years left on this earth, and it's time to get to work now. What do you want to do? How do you want to go about it? There's no way in the world that we live in the information age, you guys. The information age where we have artificial intelligence literally acting like our personal assistants, literally acting as our counselor, literally acting as an advisor. There's no way in the world that you can pick up your cell phone, go on ChatGPT, ask it anything, and it will break it down within seconds. We live in the information age, y'all. We live in the information age. You can't say you don't know how to do this, and you can't say you don't know how to do that, and you can't say you don't know how to get to this goal or that goal, because guess what? Everything's at your fingertips now. Everything's at your fingertips now. You have a library of information, a library of information that's infinite, okay? It's constantly being updated every second of the day. If you want to go ahead and be a landlord, you can look it up. If you want to learn how to be an illustrator, you can look it up. If you want to learn how to be a musician, you can look it up. All the information practically is free. It's on freaking ChatGPT or Google. If you want something bad enough, you can find it. You know? A lot of y'all, listen, hear me out, because I was in that same predicament, okay? At 30 years old, I got really depressed. I got really depressed at 30. Because I promised myself that I would be a millionaire by 30. I gave myself that goal back when I was 15 years old. And realized, and the only reason why I said I'm gonna be a millionaire by 30 when I was 15 is because I felt as though I had a lot of time. I know I'm not touching 30 quickly. And guess what? 30 came and 30 went. So I had all of these goals that I wanted to accomplish at 30 years old, and I realized, man, it just came, you know? And the only reason why I never became that millionaire at 30 is because I did not put a plan in place. I had my dreams, I had my visions, I had my goals inside of my head, but nothing was written down. Nothing was written down. There was no plan of action. There was no task to do in order to get to that goal. I'm going to give you a quick example, you guys. Let's just say you want to be an author and you want to write a book. Let's just say you just want to write a 100-page book, right? If that's what you want to do and that's what you dream of becoming, take that out of your mind and write it on paper. Okay, how will I be able to accomplish that? What type of book do I want to write? Okay, I want to write a fiction book, 100 pages. How many words are in one page for a standard size book? Okay, there's about 250 words per page. All you gotta do is times that by 100. That's how many words you need to write for a manuscript. You probably need to write a little bit more because you're gonna be editing, and you gotta shorten it down until you get a good, consistent 25,000 words in order to get your 100-page book. Now from there, you gotta figure out your timeline, right? Okay, can I write 250 words a day? Can I write it in a week? All right, how much time is this going to take me in order to get 25,000 words? You got to write all that stuff down. Then you got to build your outline. There's a lot of pieces, a lot of moving pieces in order to accomplish that particular goal. Write it all down. Then once you write it all down, you just break it down into bite-sized pieces. Okay, on this week, I'm going to try to write 2,000 words this week. That'd be the goal. Then you have your weekly goals, and then you move into your monthly, and then by the end of the year, you've accomplished so much. But the problem is, you love thinking about it, you hate doing. That's the problem. You love thinking about it, you hate doing. The moment you got to put effort into something that you want to do, you don't want to do it no more. Now all of a sudden, you lost the energy in order to get to that goal. And then 10 years go down the road, and now that you wanted to be an author, and guess what? It done went past. Not saying you can't be an author anytime during your entire lifetime, but the fact is, a lot of y'all letting all of these dreams and goals go by, and the next thing you know, you end up passing away, accomplishing nothing, man. Now I am grateful. Before I turned 30, I had two beautiful kids. I had, like I told you, I ended up purchasing a single home in when I turned 30 years old, coming from North Philadelphia, about 10 minutes walking from Kensington, Allegheny. And for those that don't know, Kensington and Allegheny is one of the biggest open air drug markets in the entire country. Okay, it's crazy. They call it a trap for a reason. A lot of people come in from all over the country, and they end up going there, taking a few hits, and they never leave from there. You understand? So I was raised about 10 minutes from there, walking, 5 minutes driving, okay? And for me to come from an environment like that to now owning a single home, and I have a lawn in the front and a big yard in the back, and my kids go to a great school district, and we live in a nice neighborhood with $1 million homes all around us. My house ain't $1 million home, but guess what? Got $1 million homes all around us. And the fact that I was able to accomplish that at 30 years old, I'm very proud of myself, man. But do I have more dreams and more goals that I want to accomplish? Absolutely, man. I want to leave out of here with a legacy. You understand? I want to leave out of here with a legacy. I want my kids to come back to all of these videos and say, my pop, man, he really had vision. My pop really had the energy. My pop was looking good at 39 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? Just think, man. Think about the legacy of your own particular families. You can go back and look at pictures from your great grandfather if you even got that. They only got portraits. We got videos that we can share with our children now. They could just look us up on YouTube maybe 100 years from now and just go back and be like, "Dad, that was my pops, man," or that's your great grandfather. You see how crazy it was, right? Look at your great grandfather, how handsome he was. You hear me? Y'all don't even realize right now I'm talking into the future, talking to my great grandchildren, man. You know? The stuff I'm talking about, I'm probably motivating my great grandchildren right now with this video. You hear me? Y'all talking about putting forth inheritances. Yeah, you don't even realize that you could put forth your own lessons. The camera shut off, y'all. We gotta cut the tape, man. Camera shut off. We back in action, y'all. My bad. We were having some technical difficulties, but anyway, to get back to my point, right? You don't even realize. Is there a damn spider right here, man? Yo, there's a spider right here on this table, man. Hold on, y'all. They ain't trying to allow us to be great today, man. My bad, y'all. I had to get rid of that spider real quick, man. It's just having nothing but technical difficulties and distractions. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? In life, you're going to have distractions, man. You're going to have distractions. There's going to be people that are going to hit you from all different types of angles. Pause. And that's not what I meant. But what I'm saying is you're going to have people that are going to come in and out of your life and they're going to distract you. Women, men, whoever you're dealing with, in and out of your life, distracting you, playing on your emotions. Now you're not focused on your dreams or you ain't focused on your goals. You're focused on them. It's the reason why I tell my kids, pause the relationships, focus on your goals, focus on your spirituality, and focus on getting busy out here and making things happen for yourself. There's always going to be time for relationships. There's always going to be time to hang out with your friends. There's always going to be time for that stuff. But you got to get busy now, man. You got to go ahead and make something happen because you don't want to be 40 years old. Then next thing you know, you look back and you're like, man, where has the time gone? Time goes by like this, y'all. Y'all don't even realize the time goes by like that. A game changer for me, though. A game changer for me is journaling. I know I've said it in other episodes, but journaling is huge, y'all. I just started doing it maybe about 3-4 years ago. I started, I've been journaling for quite some time. Probably about 5-6 years. Probably even earlier than that. But anyway, I've always wanted to journal, right? There was this cartoon that I was watching. His name Doug. Doug used to always write in his journal and stuff like that. I always found that fascinating when I was a kid. I don't know. I was a nerdy kid, man. But I always had a liking towards journaling. And so there was this author named Carol Ryder, I believe, who came out with the bullet journal, right? And bullet journaling ended up becoming this mass movement, and it's a more minimalistic way to kind of journal, right? So with my journaling, I've had different iterations throughout the years, because I was trying to find my current style, and I finally found it. So one thing that I like to do is with journaling, look at it this way. It's a snapshot of your life, within a book. So that way you can go back to your library maybe years later and you can go back and you can see what you were thinking during that time. You can maybe come out of all your ideas. Anything should be put in that book. Any quotes, anything you've learned, what you did that day, your exercise routine, habits you're trying to build should all be in that book. That's your own personal book. That's the thing that's going to help you further down the road. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The journaling that you see, more distractions, man. More distractions. We having thunderstorms now. All of a sudden now I want to start thunderstorming, man. But anyway, I've been able to put my ideas, all of my thoughts in this book, and anything that comes to mind, I go ahead and I write it down. One of the things that I've been doing, I've been tracking my habits. I've been tracking a whole lot of things. So I have every week I have 2 pages. I like to do the weekly spread. I don't really like to do the daily. And there's nothing wrong with the daily, but for me, it works for me. I like to do the weekly spread, right? The weekly spread, I basically, what I do is I track my mood, how I am morning, noon, and night every single day. Am I happy? Am I okay? Am I sad? Am I angry? Most of the time in the morning, I'm okay. I just wake up, I'm like, right? But as the day goes further along, I start to get happy. And I notice that around noontime I get happy because I'm exercising, and then in the evening sometimes I can be happy, or sometimes I could be a little irritated or whatever. It depends on the day, right? But very rarely am I ever just angry, right? Majority of the time I'm either okay or I'm happy, which is cool. But you track that and you can see how it is within a week. The next thing I track is I do a thing called highlights. Highlights, I write one sentence for each day. What did I do? Case in point, I'm doing a podcast today, right? So I'm going to write most likely in my journal, recorded 2 episodes of the Doscinco Project, right? And then maybe went out to go exercise with Queen. I'll write that. I know I said one sentence, but whatever you can fit in that one line, you can put it all in. The reason why I love that is because I've gone back to 2, 3 years and I look at those one liners and it takes me back to a core memory. It's like, yeah, I do remember when I did that. Oh, dag, I did. You don't even realize that you're a walking story. You're a walking story, and people want to read that one a day. Wouldn't you want to share a journal with your kids just to show what your thoughts were when you were 39 years old? And now they're 39, and you can say, listen, this is the way I was thinking back then, or this is the way I was thinking at 20 something years old. And now you're 20 something years old. So let's see if we can relate. It would be great for them to see that. There's also some productivity hacks in there where, as far as my habits are concerned, I've built a routine of habits that I try to check off each and every day. And you get this fulfillment of checking off each and every day those various habits. And you can look from within 1 week and you can say, man, I did pretty good here with this habit. This habit I still have to work on, and so forth. You're able to see it visually, y'all. If everything's always in your head, you're going to be forgetful. A lot of times, you're not going to remember what you ate yesterday. Better yet, the events that transpired, the habits you're trying to keep up with, the exercise routines, how many sets, how many pounds, and so forth, that you're trying to, all of these things you're juggling within your head, put it on paper, man. Put it on paper. The power is within the pen, So I'm tracking habits like meditation, try to pray 3 times a day because I'm trying to get a little bit more spiritually inclined, right? I read 30 minutes a day. That's been huge for me. So far, I think I've read about 4 or 5 books, and we've only been in about 6 months. There's some people that read a book a week. I'm not there yet. But I've read about 4 or 5 books, all based off of the habits. I'm just reading within 30 minutes. Once those 30 minutes are done, I'm done, right? And then I do it again. Next day, and then I keep on going, right? So far, I've read about 4 or 5 books, and I'm taking notes on them, I try to read 1 chapter of the Bible every day just to continue to build the routine of reading the Bible daily, right? Then I'm stretching, I'm exercising. I try to do either a cold shower or a cold plunge because I heard there's some health benefits behind that. I try to drink at least 128 ounces of water. This is water right here, a day. These are all habits that I wanted to include within my life, y'all. And I'm not saying you got to do that. But what I'm saying is you got to start somewhere. What are your habits? What are your routines that you want to get better with? If you're sitting on the couch all day, then maybe the habit would be, let me get up and let me try to be active at least 10, 15 minutes a day. And then gradually grow that from 15 to 30 minutes and then 30 minutes to an hour. And before you know it, you're active about 2, 3 hours out of your day within a year or two. It's all about progression, y'all. You can't get to the top of the mountain in one leap. It takes one step. It's one step at a time, y'all. And you can do that. That girl, again, I continue to go back to that girl that is that's beating herself up right now because she's about to turn 40 years old and she realizes she hasn't accomplished anything. Let me tell you something. Tupac Shakur, one of the greatest rappers to ever live. It ain't debatable there, But one of my favorite rappers, he accomplished so much. And guess what? His legacy still lives on. He has music people still listen to. He has poetry people still read. He has movies that people still watch. And guess what? He did it within 5 years. Okay? 5 years to create an impact. 5 years for him to create the impact that he has, that years later it's still impacting people till this day. Okay? Which is the reason why millions upon millions of people still love him till this day. 5 years of impact, y'all. 5 years of his heart and his soul and all of his work being put in music, in videos, in speeches, in interviews. All of this within 5 years, he impacts the world till this day. Okay? So I don't care if you haven't done anything for your life for the past 40. You only need but a few short years in order to impact the world, and now you done created a legacy that will live on forever. How many people that we know that have passed away and they leave a legacy till this day? There's plenty of them. A lot of y'all probably got Marilyn, for all the women out there, a lot of y'all got Marilyn Monroe up on your wall right now. She was young when she passed away. You know, she created movies and she was an iconic figure. Come on, man. Jimi Hendrix, I think he passed away at 27 years old. People still talk about his rock and roll history to this day, man. It's all about executing, y'all. So I think journaling is so dope. It allows you to capture all the moments within your life. It allows you to track certain activities within your life. And I think it's just dope to just go through afterwards. You don't even realize you're really authoring your life, you know, as you go along. You know, and who knows, you may be able to use those books later on in the future as a memoir that you could possibly share for the world. Everybody has one good story, y'all. Everybody has one good story in their life. Think about all of the things that you've been able to undergo that you feel as though people can benefit from. Think about the obstacles that you have been going through, that you actually overcame. And you don't think that advice that you currently have, because you learned from certain lessons, you don't think that can be applied to other people that are going through the same thing today and don't know when they're going to when they're going to ever overcome those particular obstacles. You don't think that the life and the lessons that you've been going through and you've been learning along the way can't be applied elsewhere. Everybody has one good story, man. So I think journaling is so dope, man. I love it. I love it. In fact, it's a game changer for me. And I think that that's something I will be practicing for the rest of my life, y'all. I have book ideas in my journal. I have branding ideas in the journal. I have company ideas in the journal. I have my vision within the journal. And let me tell you something. If I don't get to some of those goals, or if I don't get to all of those goals, I damn sure going to get to some of those goals that's going to impact the world in a big way. Best believe that. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm documenting all of it. I'm documenting all of it by way of the book. And guess what? We talking about it to this day. Because I want y'all to go back 10 years later. I mean, 10 years as far as videos are concerned. I want you to go back and say that he was talking about that. He was talking about how he was going to impact the world and things of that sort. You're seeing it right now. You're getting a first-hand view. Like right now, case in point, right? The Doscinco Project is only getting about maybe 30 some odd views one episode, 50 some odd views the other episode. It's not really gaining a lot of traction right now, and that's cool because I do this more for documentation. I do this more for me. I'm not doing it right now for the views. But if I can impact people's life by way of the videos that I put out there, then if it impacts one person, I'm happy. But mark my words right now. These little small views that y'all see will be big one day. And we're going to go back to them and you're going to say, man, Doscinco Project blew up. You damn right it did. Why wouldn't it have done? You understand? But stop procrastinating, y'all. I want to jump into another video that I found to be pretty fascinating. And it's, what's his name? Adrian Broner, right? Adrian Broner was considered to be the next Floyd Mayweather at one particular time. Rising star, 4-division champion. And he squandered, it's unfortunate, and he knows this because he actually says it in the video, but he squandered those gifts. He squandered the accomplishments. He just squandered it. He took it for granted. And I'm sorry, but in the world of entertainment, if you're not popping today, or if you're popping today, you're most likely not popping tomorrow. And sometimes you can kind of shorten your career span based off of the things that you do. There's only a few that continue with their legacy because they've made strategic moves that keep them relevant till this day. Look at the 50 Cents of the world. He was popping with music back in the day, and he realized that he was no longer catering to a certain type of audience. So what did he do? He realized that his audience was getting older, and so therefore he decided, okay, I'm gonna start doing TV shows. Okay, I'm gonna start doing movies because I'm gonna have my audience. My audience is at home now. They're not at the clubs no more. My audience is raising families now. We all got older, so therefore I'm going to put products out there that are gonna benefit them. And he's doing a great job at it, keeping himself relevant constantly. And he loves music, but he realized that he no longer has the impact that he once did back in the day. So now what does he do? He still loves music. So now he puts the music within his shows. You got me and Queen, we sitting on the couch. Every time we listen to BMF and you have one of his songs coming on, or Power, we doing this, we doing the 50 Cent dance. We doing this. We doing that. Or we doing that. Those are two 50 Cent moves that he does within the concert and everything else. He does the same two moves. Every time we listen to his music, man, we watching BMF or whatever, we doing the same thing, man. But anyway, let's go into Adrian Broner. He's going to talk to you a little bit about, let's just listen to it.
If I was still undefeated, man, I don't know where I would be. I was a wrecking ball, man. I was living a lifestyle that wasn't right for my career. Cause I was moving so fast. I was moving too fast. I'm done cutting corners. It's back to ground zero.
You hear that? It's back to ground zero. He could have been at the top the entire time. He could have been a mentor to a lot of the upcoming prospects and the upcoming fighters that are in boxing today. He could have built himself a crazy legacy. He could have technically been the next Floyd Mayweather if he would have did it correctly. But unfortunately, he was young. Unfortunately, he made a lot of immature mistakes. And unfortunately, it kind of cost him his career, I hope he bounces back, Rather he does it through business, investments, things of that sort. But it's a story that I think can definitely be a great movie one day, great motivation to many, because you don't even realize that the gifts that you have, they're there for a reason, for you to make an impact in this world. If you're not making an impact and you're withholding these gifts and you're being selfish, those gifts get taken away from you, man. The accolades that come with those gifts get taken away from you, especially those that are positive. I'm not talking about them negative gifts that are being bestowed upon people that just create nothing but negativity out there in this world. I'm talking about the positive gifts, the gifts that can motivate people to do great things, the gifts that can go ahead and impact the world in the positive. I'm talking about those type of gifts. But you want to be one of those individuals that doesn't procrastinate. And if you are out there and you're making things happen and you are achieving, you want to really take advantage of the situations that you're in and don't squander those achievements, y'all. Don't abandon those gifts. Don't take it for granted. You want to be one of those individuals that cherishes the journey, trusts the process, and continues to make things happen both for you as well as your family. And I know I say that in every episode, but I'm all about family, y'all. I'm all about family, man. I have some beautiful kids that I hold near and dear to me. I just hold them near and dear, and I want them to be the best at anything that they can do in this world, man. And I know I say that all the time, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Procrastination is not it. Procrastination will rob you of the opportunities that you could potentially have in this world to do great things, man. A lot of y'all got to show up and show out. 80% is showing up. I'll tell you this right now. Both my sons, right? They play rugby, right? They play rugby. You hear the thunder trying to distract me right now. But anyway, they play rugby. They wanted to sleep in on Saturday. They was like, Dad, can we sleep in? Please. We want to get our sleep. I said, nope, you're going to go. You got a tournament. Y'all got to play. So they go in the rain. We went out there. They played. Can you believe the one that was complaining about wanting to go to sleep ended up scoring 4 touchdowns? The other one made a bunch of tackles and scored about 2 touchdowns. Every time they scored a touchdown and smiled and looked at me and came over to me, I said, you wouldn't have scored those touchdowns if you were sleeping. You wouldn't have made nothing happen if you was just relaxing in bed. 80% is showing up. 20% is letting the opportunity take place, but 80% is showing up. Now, there's times where we don't want to show up. There's times that we'd rather be at home. There's times that we don't want to put forth the effort. But what happens if you put forth that effort and 80% you show up? Imagine all the great things that'll happen for you. Imagine all the great people you'll get to see that could possibly put forth life-changing connections in your life, y'all. Imagine. Stop procrastinating. Stop being lazy in your life. Put forth that effort to keep on going and make things happen, y'all. Listen, this concludes another episode of the Doscinco Project. I'm so grateful that y'all was here to spend this time with me. We had a lot of distractions today. I had a spider come on the desk, had thunder out there, battery was kind of low, technical difficulties, but we still made it happen, man. I could have got discouraged. I could have said, you know what, hey, thunder outside, you know what's messing up my video. I could have said, hey, scared of spiders. I could have said, man, we ain't got enough battery power, and cut it all off. But I know that if I did, I wouldn't be continuing to give you the game that you absolutely deserve to have, y'all. Be great, man. Be positive. Make impactful decisions in your life. And stop procrastinating, man. Stop procrastinating. Get to work. Write it down. Make actionable steps to make it happen and go after them goals. And if you fall short, guess what? You're still 10 steps ahead of where you could have been if you was just chilling and relaxing. And I could keep on going. But we got planes to catch, y'all. We ain't got no time for the nonsense.